What, the John Carpenter?
The John
No.
Carpenter movie, yeah.
You must have been 4 years old.
No, the prequel.
Oh, okay.
We
sorry.
shot a new.
Is it? Has
You
it
know,
been out
you know
yet?
at the beginning where the Norwegian camp has
Shooting the
been-
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the story that ends with the shooting of the dog.
Oh.
Great idea, right?
You should show it to
Great
him.
concept.
Yeah.
Is
It was fun. That was a great
Is the
set.
film out yet?
Yeah.
You say great idea. You say great concept. But you didn't say great film.
Great actor. Great actor in a jump.
I think we should
flying
just
jump
all
scene.
go watch the thing right now.
Yeah.
So where are you from?
From New York. Ridley, the story of Moses, has this always been a story that you've wanted to tell,
No.
or the script was the right script?
The first draft that I read that Peter Churton had developed was enough to get us all sitting here right now. So I really paid attention to that and thought it was very, very interesting. And it proved that I knew absolutely nothing about Moses and what a marvelous filmic character to take on and tackle. But it's also got a very strong, powerful subtext, which is on everybody's mind always. I think for anybody to say I'm purely, absolutely a non-believer, I'm absolute atheist, I don't really believe it. I think people are fundamentally degrees of being agnostic.
You've done so many big movies in terms of scale.
Mm-hmm.
How does Exodus rank among them? Is it the biggest film you've ever done?
He probably eases up there, yeah, above the bar. Like I think Kingdom was pretty big, but I think goes above that, yeah.
When you're tackling a character like Moses, do you approach it the way you would any other character, or is it a different sort of approach?
You can try to approach it like any other character, but it doesn't really work because there's just so much expectation, you know. So you've got to have an appropriate amount of pressure for playing this part.
And Ramses, he's sort of the antagonist of the story, but I assume you don't approach him like he's just the villain of the piece, right?
Well, no, and mainly because the way this story is set down in this script was a very different beginning to that. He's not just the fascist pharaoh saying no. He begins the story as a brother, or raised as a brother, and an overlooked son, which is very interesting to us. We get to dive into the human detail that when you tackle a story like this, the screenwriters and Ridley together have the freedom to put a little bit more flesh on the bone, so to speak, to create those human relationships. So yeah, he's not just one thing.
We began immediately rather than waiting for 15 minutes for it to evolve. It begins literally in the first scene.
Yeah.
In the war room, you already got something going on there. There's a dynamic between the father and Moses and Ramses. And then the battle is the same thing. You already have a little bit of information of Ramses. It might come across as insecurity with the presence of Moses, that even though they're friends.
Can you guys talk a little bit about working with Ridley and what makes it special working with Ridley?
Being able to shoot a film of this size, but in 74 days, which is very short compared to other larger films that I've made, where most directors would probably take 130 days. Now, and that's really not anything to do with efficiency in my mind. It's to do with creativity. You can stay far more creative and fresh and energetic and inspired when you're not just sitting around waiting an awful long time. And it's if he picks the right people who like to move quickly and experiment and not debate everything endlessly until you've talked it all to death, but to try it, put it out there. We didn't rehearse that much. We talked a little bit, and then we would just put everything onto film and try it out. And I like to work that way. And so he blends real artistry with real practicality of how to get a film like this made, but without it being laborious and without it being an endurance test at all. It's sharp and it's quick and fast and spontaneous.
Yeah, and I'll say here to that. And also, the other thing for me is the supreme confidence that Ridley has going to make a movie of this scale. And actors I am my own little bag of insecurities, and when you come to work on something like this, it's like an intense version of having your first day at school, arriving midterm, and you feel sort of out of your depth. And it really helps as an actor to be in the hands of someone very confident, who makes great decisions creatively and in the sense of being a general on a big scale production. The confidence and the decisiveness really helps take away your own insecurities.